DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Inside to Stevenson, up against Kaminsky, Bucky good in the ball!
Santel, all the way to the basket, foul, lays it in for
2! Hello, high school basketball fans. Welcome to the Upstate Hoops Podcast here on Monday, January 19th, 2026. I'm Jim Sinacropi along with Paul Russo and Kyle Evans here inside the FingerLakes1.com studios in Seneca Falls. And it is a Martin Luther King Day. School's off. Get back in action as the week moves on. We'll take a look at the week that was, our new power rankings, and the upcoming schedule here as we push towards February. But first, the Upstate Hoops Podcast and all our coverage of Wayne Finger Lakes High School basketball is brought to you thanks to the support of DeSanto Propane. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Order online at cicinos.com. And Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com. So, not many people thinking too much about high school basketball this weekend with the NFL playoffs and the national championship game for college football tonight, but we are at that point in the season where you can literally count the weeks down to the postseason. It kind of comes fast after being kind of a long slog through December and the holiday season and to get us here. But there were a few good games this week. There were some minor movements in our power rankings and, of course, the week ahead. So, guys, welcome back to the studio. Talk some high school basketball.
Howdy. Great to be back. Kyle, it's good seeing you in studio. I know that.
It's a lot easier in studio, too.
Yeah. Rough week. Kyle's biggest Bills fan here. That's rough. I before watching that Bills game, I got to watch Syracuse losing overtime. And so let's wipe the slate clean and talk about something we can all get excited about. Some high school basketball. Take a look at the week that was in Wayne Finger Lakes boys basketball. And as we look at the score reports, fellas, what are the games that stick out to each of you?
Well, I suppose the layup here looking at it would be Honeoye and East Rochester a week ago.
Yep.
Where East Rochester did beat Honeoye, which, I don't know, maybe we can technically put that one to the side for a moment because I'm sure we'll come back to it anyway here more fully. But looking at that for me, we'll take a look at Friday night. Paul Mac and Wayne will tight action there. Wayne coming out on top. This is a Paul Mac team that I didn't know fully what to expect from this year, but they're holding on really strong. And obviously with that game with Wayne, we know how good Wayne is and holding them tight. But Jackson Denny, 22 for Paul Mac. Aiden Twist, 27 for Wayne leading the way. I think outside of that obvious game last week kind of really stuck out to me.
How about you, Kyle, outside of that East Rochester Honeoye game, which we'll come back to?
Yeah, there was a couple, and they were both Tuesday night. I thought it was interesting that Waterloo kind of hung with Newark, lost by 9. And then Geneva Minders, Geneva only won by 5. I thought that was kind of interesting, too, despite Caden Larson with a season-high 31 points.
Yes, that was the one that kind of shocked me a little bit because, looking at both Minders and Waterloo, big time down from where they have been. They both played two of the top teams in their league and made a game out, especially Minders. Is Geneva's like number 1 in our power rankings. We saw them handle Lions, and we know the type of season they're having. Contrast that with the season Minders is having, and it would have been a big win for the Blue Devils for sure. Says something that they're able to stick around. and play them that close, but still, it's another loss, and they're finding themselves being pushed further and further down the Class B one sectional seedings for the postseason, which we all know that we've seen teams have rough regular seasons, make runs in the postseason, especially in that Class B or C areas. But, geez, I don't know. That was a tough one. Would like to see them pull it off.
Would have been a nice little upset, obviously. I know talking with some people, like 5 may even be a bigger gap than what that game really was. Look, this is Minder's team that I remember when we went and did the game against Marcus Whitman that we were at, that Coach Prain even said, like, they're going to have to survive by shooting this year. And we've seen that a couple times with Minders, that if they're on, you can't take them lightly. And that was the case, obviously, for the Panthers. And the main thing for them, right, at the end of the day, you just come out with a win. Obviously, it may not have been the most pretty or anything like that.
Nobody's going to remember this a month from now. They're just going to look at the win-loss record.
Survive in advance, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So back to that East Rochester Honeoye game. Like, when that score came in, Kyle, you had to take a little bit of a double take.
Yeah, Paul was actually sending me updates throughout the game because I was actually dealing with my whole car incident, which is why I wasn't here last week. And when Paul told me that, I reacted to him the way you just thought I would react. I was shocked. I know East Rochester played them tough the first time. It was only a 10-point loss for the Bombers. And then when I heard that, Honeoye was kind of fighting back in the fourth quarter there until East Rochester pulled away again, I was still shocked. I thought Honeoye was going to come back. So, yeah, I mean, maybe Lions broke them a little bit. But then you still look, Landon had 34 that game, 23 in the second half. So he did all he could. Just, it looks like their defense wasn't very good in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it says to me that, Wayne County is a little stronger than maybe the past several years. Not just East Rochester, but Ganonda's got a really solid team as well. And even the Williamson boys are playing tough this year. But, Honeoye was a team that we had in the top 3 of our power rankings. They did take Lions to the wire. Maybe not the actual wire, but it was a game inside a minute. And, and then to drop that one to East Rochester was a bit of a surprise. But, and also we anointed Honeoye as the Finger Lakes West champs, but they got a big game coming up against Naples. So who's still undefeated.
Yeah, and that'll be big because that's the restart of that game back last month when the power went out. So, it's going to be pretty big for the league side of things there for the West. But, yeah, kudos to Wayne County, man. Lions obviously back in the league this year with that, kind of spearheading that charge, if you will. But, yeah, I've hung with them at least on my power rankings. I know that. And Ganonda, and then, obviously Williamson. And, not to give too much away, but, I had all 4 of them in my top 10 this week. So, kudos to Wayne County, man. It's been a fun league to watch so far this year, and hopefully it maintains this final, like you said, Jim, month of the year.
Yeah, we'll be getting to those power rankings shortly, but first let's take a look at the girls' week that was here in Wayne Finger Lakes girls basketball. And a quick reminder, you see the top game there, Geneva, Bloomfield. Bloomfield playing in the Finger Lakes East on the girls' side of things here. But on the girls' side, you saw Clyde beat Ganonda. That was a pretty big win in Wayne County. You see the South Seneca girls have a pretty good week. What stands out for you guys here? Obviously, whenever Waterloo and Newark face off, that's a pretty big deal. Newark got the better edge here. And I mentioned Ganonda. Williams and Marion beat them later in the week, so it was probably a little more activity on the girls' side than boys' side, including a rivalry renewal between Minders and Waterloo. That Waterloo won by 40. Lions facing off against Marcus Whitman, no problem there for the Lady Lions. What do you see here, guys?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think my takeaway is the Marcus Whitman girls are good, but each time it seems like when they play Lions just on another level. They beat them by 32 in the first matchup, 20 in this matchup. Although, here's the stunner, they did beat Ganonda by 19.
Yeah,
so it's like
that makes sense.
And then remember, Ganonda beat Lions once and then lost to them, And then Williamson-Marion just got revenge on Ganonda.
Yep.
They beat them after losing head-to-head earlier in the year. So the Wayne County is kind of wild, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that was really my main storyline of the week was actually Ganonda's rough week on the girls' side overall. Still, though, again, talk about Wayne County. The girls' side is also just it's a lot of fun right now. You got Clyde Savannah's come thundering back in the past couple weeks. Lions, obviously, we've talked about them. Ganonda's still there. Williamson-Marion continue that trend upward that we saw start last year. And
ER girls, too.
ER girls did also have a pretty good week last week as well. So it's just one of those things where a lot of fun. But, yeah, the girls' side, that was kind of the main thing there. But also, Finger Lakes East had a couple of girls good games as well. Newark beating Waterloo in overtime last week. I know you mentioned that quickly, Jim, there.
Yep.
And then Bloomfield beat Penn Yan, low-scoring affair there. But, Penn Yan's a team we've seen kind of hang tough through the year so far in the girls' side, too. And I'm pretty high on both them and Bloomfield. So it was a really good overall week of girls' games.
How about that Newark-Waterloo game, Kyle?
Yeah, Waterloo is really good, but Newark seems to just be the best in the Finger Lakes East. 9-0 now. We talked about it a lot. Great coach, great team. Karina Natali. Arizona Chapel, even really good too with the size. They're just a really good team. But I do want to mention another Finger Lakes East game. Mid Lakes beat Pelmac by a point. And I mentioned that because Pelmac actually had been playing better. They started 0-5. Since then, they're 4-2. And that one loss was that 1 point loss to Mid Lakes. So I think Pelmac has turned the corner a little bit, but that was a little minor setback to what's been a good turnaround for them.
And Mid Lakes, similar, kind of hanging around. They're Class B1 or B2?
I think they're A.
Oh, Class A for Mid Lakes?
So. Yeah.
Oh, that might be a tough hill to climb for them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so let's move right on to the power rankings and see how they're standing here as of January 19th. And, of course, starting with the boys, Geneva, no questions there, number one, and really no questions as well with Lions being at number two. But from here on out, I mean, I didn't see everybody's ballot, but there had to be some discrepancies. I mean, Honeoye still staying up there pretty good, even though they lost to East Rochester. Wayne, maybe the surprise of this season so far, because you just assume you're going to lose someone like Cam Blankenberg, but that program's strong. It's the type of thing that was established by Coach Thompson that has just kind of perpetuated itself from year to year, and this is the first Wayne team that doesn't have a Blankenberg on it in quite some time, and here they are, still a top three team in our power rankings. I think that we all agree that Geneva's obviously the number one team, but they're not quite to that level, which when it gets to sectionals, they'll be in the same class. But Newark has kind of slid down to be maybe the third place team in the Finger Lakes East power rankings, if we're just going to do that. But Ganonda boys, top five. Can't remember the last time we've seen the Ganonda boys into the top five of our power rankings. It's been several years, if not, Enrique Mosman years, maybe they might have snuck up there. But man, the league as a whole was pretty strong back then. And then you want to talk about a stranger to the power rankings. You got the Naples Big Green moving all the way up to number 6, tying with Newark. And this is a team that we haven't totally slept on. We watch them keep winning games, but I think it's a team that we might have to try to see in person here to see what they got cooking down there in the Vine Valley. And then East Rochester could make an argument. Maybe they could be higher, and Pelmac and Williamson round out the boys' power rankings. You guys have your thoughts on the January 19th iteration of our power rankings.
Overall, I don't have too many disagreements just based on how I voted. Do like the shout out there. I don't know who got it, but South Seneca getting a vote. Pretty good to see. I know we talked a little bit about them last week, but yeah, I mean, I think the big takeaway again for me, like I mentioned, I got 4 Wayne County teams in there, man. It's tough as long as I say it every week. If you keep winning, it's pretty simple on my end. So kudos to the 4 squads from Wayne County being in there, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. The Naples thing, I didn't have them as an outright 6. Obviously, everybody votes, so it gets weighted. But yeah, I had Naples above Newark for the time being. I don't know if they were face head-to-head what the actual result
that's
would
the
be,
interesting thing.
but,
We won't see that.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's I don't know. It's tough to ignore, right? You see it in college basketball right now. It's tough to ignore the Miami Redhawks. They're undefeated. They're one of the last 2 undefeateds in college basketball, and they're finally ranked now. So.
When you're undefeated on Martin Luther King Day,
Yep.
You got something good going.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the boys' side of the power rankings?
Yeah, I had Newark above Naples too. Of course, I would like to see them play. I would also like to see Newark play East Rochester, which they won't,
Right?
because I had Newark above them too. But I think East Rochester could give them a real good fight and maybe even win. But I put South Seneca as my 10th spot, and I'll tell you why.
Have at it.
They have a 4-2 record in their last 6 games, just like Williamson does.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, Williamson beat a 1-win Clyde Savannah team. They lost to Sodus over this stretch.
Yeah, kind of surprising.
South Seneca started 2-4, and they've turned their season around at 4-2 now since, and are now at 500, I believe. And they only lost to Naples by 9, and they only lost to Honeywell
too,
by
yeah.
17.
Yeah, which was closer than that, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
So I had to give them credit there.
Yeah, and I believe South Seneca would be a C2 squad this year. So as we get closer to sectionals, a lot of these teams may potentially, square off. You could see South Seneca, and Naples, Gananda, East Rochester, Williamson, Honeoye, Lions. Those are all C teams. So we could see some pretty cool matchups in the postseason this year, especially concerning those Wayne County teams. Girls' power rankings. Newark, the Lady Reds, number 1 out of the Rose City. And there's something new. Bloomfield up to number 2. Just barely squeaking by Waterloo at 3. Lions 4. Marcus Whitman hanging in there at 5 despite getting beat pretty badly by the Lions this week. Penn Yan, the third, or actually Bloomfield's in the East, so the 4th team out of the Finger Lakes East coming in at number 6. Williamson Marion combined girls program at 7. Gananda making an appearance both for boys and girls. And then Clyde Savannah girls at 9. And Palmac, despite their record coming in at 10th. HAC a couple votes. We were really high in HAC a few weeks ago, but they've dropped some games since. And East Rochester girls, too, receiving votes. I don't have much to complain about here. We will see Bloomfield and Waterloo squaring off soon, right?
This upcoming Friday.
Yeah. So that's
right. Yeah, Friday.
Got number 2 and 3 in the power rankings. That's always a good one.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we all agree is Newark's clearly the best team in Wayne Finger Lakes girls basketball so far.
Yeah, it's just like the Geneva thing, right? At this point, I mean, they no blemishes, can't really knock them for anything right now. I'm sure. Yeah, they probably would have preferred maybe not to win in overtime or have buzzer beaters, but yeah, to use my analogy from just a couple minutes ago, survive in advance. You just win, and you keep on winning, and you don't really question how you get there. Yeah,
these are rivalry games too. Like Newark Waterloo, that's a girls in the girls side, or you throw Palmac Newark, Palmac Waterloo. These are some pretty big time rivalries that I know the girls are looking forward to it when they pop up on the schedule, and the type of games where. I mean, that was kind of a big loss for Waterloo, who certainly would, rightfully so, think of themselves as the class of the Finger Lakes East in recent memory. Newark stepped up and kind of taken that crown for them. They had a chance. It went to overtime, and they dropped the game. Imagine if they'd pulled that one off. We might have a tough decision to make here atop the girls' power rankings. But is there anything that doesn't set well with you with those power rankings on the girls' side, Kyle?
Just kind of a minor thing. I had Clyde Savannah over Gananda.
Yep.
Clyde has actually quietly won 3 straight after a rough little patch there. And remember who they just beat. They just beat Gananda head-to-head. So I couldn't put Gananda over Clyde. And they also just beat East Rochester as part of the 3-game win streak. They've also beat Williamson Marion in this stretch. So, yeah, I just thought Clyde should have been up a little bit. Marcus Whitman, I had to drop them because they're 3-2 in their last 5, and they're getting blown out by Lions twice. I mean, I get it. Lions is probably just on another level, but
bad matchup maybe for him
32
too.
and 20.
Yeah,
I got to drop you on that one. So,
yeah, and Marcus Whitman hasn't really given us any like marquee wins.
yeah.
They don't play Bloomfield this year. Really on the Finger Lakes West girls side, it's not quite the same. Your schedule's not going to be quite the same as playing either in Wayne County or obviously in the East. So it's kind of tough to gauge them. And the one thing we had to gauge the best was the games against Lions. So either it was just a bad matchup for Marcus Whitman and Liz Royston's squad, or maybe they're not as good as we're making them out to be.
And what was Penn Yan ranked? I forgot on the rankings.
I can throw it up again really quick. Penn Yan, we got up at 6.
Yeah.
Well, I think the tough part with that, I'll leave it up here too, because I think it's a good example of just like the voting structure here is, I'm guessing the way it's been working out is kind of once you get past Lions at 4, everybody's having different thoughts on where everybody actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty, not to say it's a big drop off in the sense of whatever, but 16 vote points is a pretty low number even compared to that 21.
Do you have Penn Yan over Marcus Whitman in yours? Your ballot?
Yes, I do. I have spot on. I have Penn Yan 6th. But remember, this Penn Yan team lost by 24 to Pell Mac and lost by 8 to Bloomfield. But then they beat, Waterloo was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, on that buzzer beater. So this season, especially the girls' side, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but it is exciting if you're any one of these teams we're talking about, or even some just on the outside of our power rankings, to think, hey, we can continue to get better, maybe get a little hot, and have those sectional hopes. Legitimate, reasonably think that if they start playing better, that they can make a run in sectionals. So
we're getting the chaos, and I think we love that.
Yeah, it definitely is more fun this way. But again, the one place where we don't seem to have the chaos is at the very top. Undisputed. I think both were Geneva, Newark, both unanimous.
Yeah.
Top choices for the boys' side, and then Newark for the girls' side. But razor thin margin. If Newark drops to Waterloo, I don't know what we do then. We probably still have them up there, but maybe not unanimously.
I think it would probably be a pretty good split. Like I said, the way I vote, I mean, if you lose.
I'm keep waiting for Waterloo to kick into like another gear, especially as we get closer to the end of the regular season. And that Newark game was a good chance for them to do that, but they lost in overtime. So a loss is a loss. So week ahead in high school basketball, looking at the boys' side of things. Newark Batavia is always a fun game to see. They've met in sectionals quite a bit.
Happening right now, by the way.
Oh, that's right. It's an afternoon game. We got a score update? Probably not.
I'm going to look for that while you get to the next ones.
Bloomfield hosting early college tomorrow. Whitman boys at Waterloo. And Whitman boys been struggling. They could use an upset win. So the upset, even though Waterloo hasn't really been knocking them dead themselves, I still think that would be a road upset for them. Naples going at Jasper Troutsburg, putting their undefeated record on the line. A good game in Class A, AA East High and Victor this week. Not necessarily Wayne Finger Lakes, but we like to keep track of Victor and Canandaigua. South Seneca boys at Bloomfield. Big game. See if South Seneca can keep it going. Honeoye now at Dundee Bradford. Geneva Waterloo. Could be a good chance for Waterloo to score an upset. And Naples also going out of league at Mount Morris this week. Bloomfield Geneseo on Thursday. Penn Yan Mid Lakes boys. Minders at Wayne. Pelmac at Newark. A couple of games just to keep an eye on. At Clyde Savannah boys at Gananda. Clyde looking for their second win, I believe.
Yep.
Lions at York. I do like seeing Lions step out and play some of these random programs, simulate somewhat of a sectional feel to them. But there it is on, what is that, Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
Naples at Honeoye.
Or Saturday.
That's Saturday. And so it's afternoon game maybe?
I think.
Yeah.
And it's at Honeyhoy.
Resuming in the third quarter, right? Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yep, so they're going to play like 10, 12 minutes of basketball.
So they're going to show up, go through their warm-ups, tip it off in the third quarter, and they won't tip it off. Whoever has possession, right?
Yeah, I picked up exactly where they left off. That's usually how the rules go.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game to tune into the webcast for if you got like a half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot to make up a game, although Honeyhoy and Naples not too far apart there, so it won't be too big of a travel hassle there. But certainly the quarter and a half of the week that we'll keep keeping our eyes on.
Yeah, I mean, it might be. I mean, there's league implications, obviously.
Yeah.
Undefeated record on the line at that point, possibly.
What was the score?
What was it, like 30?
Close.
Something like 38-30 or something like that, right?
It was like an 8.
Honeyhoy lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man. So if Naples can come back and pull that off, I wonder what the power rankings will look like next week. Naples would certainly jump into the top 5, but then you also have to question, geez, maybe this Honeyhoy team, given the loss to East Rochester, given the fact they lost the Lions, I mean, who have they really beat?
That's a good point.
Sorry, I was watching the Newark game. We have chaos. There's 2.7 seconds left.
Oh.
Batavia leads 57-56. It looked like Terrell Jenkins just shot a game-tying field goal, but the ref quickly jumped in, waved it off, called a line violation.
Oh, my God.
Wait,
And
line
now the-
violation?
Oh, a 3-second call?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it looks like everyone's confused. The refs are kind of talking about it, but everyone's back to their benches. And, 2.7 seconds left.
And then should be back to Batavia. Was Buddy Bratsky coach Batavia? Yeah, legendary.
Can't confirm that.
And East Rochester is up on Aquinas 26-13 second quarter.
Wow. Now, Aquinas not the same. I mean, some of our Wayne Finger League teams have actually beat them this year.
Pretty handle, yeah.
Earlier in December. So, keep us posted there, pal. Let's look at the girls' week ahead. As we, Geneva going out of league at Greece Athena. Pretty interesting. Newark at Midlake, so Midlake's with a win there. The number 1 Newark Lady Reds going on the road. Romulus Southern Cuga. Oh, that's an interesting game. Romulus girls have been all right.
Yeah,
it's
pretty good ball.
They're not in Class D, though, this year, that I could see.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I think they're C2.
Yeah. Marcus Whitman girls at Clyde. Now, that's a good contest.
Mm-hmm.
If Marcus Whitman needs to go into Clyde and win that game if they want to stay anywhere near where we have them ranked. And obviously it's a big – Clyde Savannah has been resurgent, and that's a big game for them. Even though it's an out-of-league game, if we're trying to gauge, where these teams stand, that's one to keep an eye on Wednesday night. And then Waterloo playing York at York. HAC at Romulus. And then we get to Friday night, which is the big night, Waterloo at Bloomfield. That's a big one. Gananda at Marcus Whitman. So, wow, what a big week for Marcus Whitman, playing a couple of Wayne County teams, good Wayne County teams. And Mid-Lakes girls at Penn Yan. Wayne girls at Minders. Newark at Palmac is, despite Palmac's record, I imagine that'll be a good fight there.
Second meeting, too.
Yeah.
Newark only won by 7 in the first matchup.
And now they're going on the road to Palmac, which a lot of people maybe they don't understand geography. Palmac and Newark are neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
They're just 5 minutes down the road in Route 31. So should be a good scene on Friday night inside the gym at Palmyra Macedon. So, yeah, good. We got some good games coming up this week. It really seems like the girls' side is providing more intriguing, a higher number of intriguing matchups this week.
Yeah, there was a couple. I'm going to go back and forth here on the boys and girls for a minute. There's a couple really interesting non-league. I know you mentioned a couple in their gym, but Lions at Monroe is one that really stuck out to me.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one.
On the boys' side, that I don't know how to properly maybe gauge that in the full scheme of it, but
Monroe's is pretty highly ranked right now.
Correct. I'm going to be really entertained, though, I think, in that matchup.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen the games played, though, for Monroe?
No.
5 games played this deep into the season.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know what it's about, but just 5 games. They're 4-1.
Yeah.
Huh.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, that really doesn't.
But then also on the girls' side, East High at Palmac, that is tomorrow.
Yep.
So there's a couple of interesting non-league stuff that really popped up this week. And look, it's a short week. Stuff like this kind of pops up every now and then that you just have these non-league games end up in the middle of the season like this, and hey, we're grateful for it from the entertainment.
Yeah, a little
side.
surprising to see him this, like you say, this late in the season. But I suppose this will be getting close to the end of most of them as we round out the league schedules over the next couple weeks. And then around Valentine's Day, right? So we're 3 weeks.
February 18th.
Three weeks and a couple days away from having sectional brackets.
February 18th is the last regular season day, I believe, this year. So, I mean, we're essentially a month out.
Yeah. Well, exciting. Good stuff. What's going on in that Batavia-Newark game?
So Batavia just got fouled, of course. They just made both of their free throws. They're up 4 with 1 second left.
So that game's over.
Yeah.
So Newark unable to represent
And I went back.
the Finger Lakes East.
They did call a lane violation. Somebody jumped, but I don't understand. Like, I didn't really see much. It's like
Wait, was it on a free throw?
was on a free throw.
Terrell Jenkins was shooting free
he
throws,
sank the free throw.
and they call a
and
lane violation.
Right when it was going down in, the ref jumps in the way and says, "No good, no good."
Yeah.
And the whole bench and everyone looked confused, like, "What do you mean, no?"
Maybe he has somebody had their foot on the line.
That too.
So
So craziness, Monday afternoon craziness.
Monday afternoon, high school hoops on FingerLakes1.com.
Hey, matinee.
Yep. Well, anyways, guys, good week, good show, good power rankings. It starts to get really good from here on out. So thanks, everybody, for joining us on the Upstate Hoops Podcast. Connect with us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Our audio-only podcast is available most everywhere you enjoy your audio content. I also got to say, if you want to go back and get some of our classic broadcasts, especially from the past few years in the postseason, check out our Mixlr channel, mixlr.com. Search for Mixlr, Finger Lakes 1. Tons of games in the archives there for your listening pleasure. You can also find our show, live stream games, and local news, weather, and sports 24/7 at fingerlakes1.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week on Monday afternoon. Until then, have a great week.